All right, quickly let's move on to the Premier League, where leaders Arsenal put on a masterclass to overwhelm shell-shocked North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur 2-0 away and extend the gap at the top of the Premier League to 8 points on Sunday. The Gunners flew out of the blocks from the opening whistle and built a first-half lead through a clumsy own goal by Spurs keeper Hugo Lloris and a sublime strike from Martin Odegaard. Striker Harry Kane needing one more goal to equal Jimmy Reeves as all-time Spurs top scorer had chances either side of the break, but keeper Aaron Ramsdale was equal to them. The win puts Arsenal on 47 points from 18 matches, ahead of Manchester City, who are on 39, with Newcastle, who have played a game more, and Manchester United a further point back. Spurs are in 5th place with 33 points from 19 matches. The victory meant Arsenal enjoyed their first league double over Spurs since the 2013-2014 season, and more importantly, put them firmly in control of the title race. Let's see highlights from that game. All right, Arsenal securing all 3 points in the North London derby yesterday. Joining me this morning to talk about that game and, of course, other games that we saw over the weekend is Gbenga Gboyega, a regular on the show right here, joins us from Abuja this morning. Gbenga, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, and I think it's a happy new year to you, Wale. I think it's the first time we're talking in 2023. I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. Let's start with the North London derby, where Arsenal secured all 3 points. I mean, it was served up on a plate for them, the opportunity to go 8 points clear after Manchester City, whom we'll talk about in a bit, lost on Saturday in the Manchester derby, and Arsenal took up the platter, ate it, and now they're 8 points clear. This is the biggest gap they've had on top of the league since 2004, and it looks like they might be on their way to a first league title in 17 years or thereabout. Or am I calling it too soon?
Of course, calling it too soon. I think we are even calling it too late. Pundits, fans, neutral fans, and well-wishers, we've been waiting for that slip. We've been waiting for that big test. We've been waiting for that injury-prone team. We've been waiting for lack of depth. We've been looking for excuses to give as to why Arsenal might not win the title. But now they've done all that. I stumbled on the London derbies they've had this season, and they've beat everybody. They didn't even draw any game. Talking about important games, they've lost only once this season in 18 league games, which is literally half season. Before yesterday's game, they were on 44 points, and we well know that no team in the English Premier League history that starting from 1992 has lost the title, having been on 44 points after 17 games. So they've ticked all boxes so far, and it would be disingenuous of us if we keep expecting them not to win the title. I feel the title loss is down to Arsenal.
All right, quickly, let's go back to the team who a lot of people are still, thinking that might go on to win the title if Arsenal don't. Manchester City. They lost against Manchester United. And I know that, it's been overflogged. It was on Saturday. A lot of people have touched on it in the last 48 hours. But I just want to have your take on the officiating in that game. Did you think that was an offside, the goal or the events that led to Bruno Fernandes putting Manchester United in the lead? Equalizing, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, you said it right. It has been overflowed. Discussions both off and on the air, social media space. In fact, professionals, referees have come into the conversation. As far as I'm concerned, people would say it's opinionated. I don't think it's opinionated. I think the law is clear, right? It's when we try to streamline the law to suit a particular narrative, that's when we begin to bring different perspectives. The word that is.
All right, looks like the internet might have played a fast one right there. Maybe the internet, his internet provider probably thinks that wasn't offside, because I'm assuming that he was seen as offside. Anyway, we'll try to get Gbenga back on the line to touch on what happened in that Manchester derby. All right, I hear that Gbenga is back. Gbenga, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
All right, you were saying something.
Yes, I was saying that the most significant word in that particular law or that article, I've read it over and over again, is interference, right? And if you ask anybody, both Manchester United fans and neutral fans, was Rashford interfering with goal or with the play or with the defenders? their size, yes. Regardless of how you want to paint it, he didn't touch the ball, he tried to run away from the ball, his body movement. The fact is there was an interference. And when the pass was played, he was in an offside position. So however we try to change the narrative, it should just be limited. But the fact is the fact. So as far as I'm concerned, I think the English Premier League likes looking for discussion, content, traffic, and that was another opportunity to blow. Manchester United would have enjoyed the win, but nobody's talking about the win. Everybody's talking about the call. Everybody's talking about the referee who was the man of the match. So we'll continue to talk about it, but I think the law is clear. He interfered with the game. Manuel Akonji and the other defenders pursued Rashford. Nobody was on Bruno Fernandes. The whole attention was for Rashford. How all of a sudden he was out of the conversation when Bruno played the strike to score the goal, it baffles me. It really baffles me.
All right. I mean, just to mention that officiating is something that we talk about frequently, especially in the Premier League. But this is just getting a lot more spotlight because, I mean, it was a game in which its results, seemingly might have major ramifications on where the title goes at the end of May. Anyway, quickly, let's go over to Spanish football, but it happened in Saudi Arabia. Barcelona were crowned Spanish Super Cup champions after goals from Gavi, Robert Lewandowski, and Pedri, end them a 3-1 win over bitter rivals Real Madrid in Saudi Arabia last night. Barca took the lead in the 33rd minute after Real defender Antonio Rudiger passed across his own area to Sergio Busquets, who began a move that ended with Gavi all alone inside the box to score with a precise left foot strike. Lewandowski extended the lead 12 minutes later on the counter when Frankie de Jong found Gavi, who sprinted through the left channel before putting it on the plate for the striker, who tapped into an empty net. Once again, a costly mistake from Real allowed Barca to score a third goal. Substitute Dani Ceballos lost the ball in midfield, and Gavi sprinted forward and crossed for Pedri to fire point blank into the empty net. Karim Benzema scored a consolation goal for Real in added time, striking him on the rebound after Marc-Andre ter Stegen denied his first attempt. Let's take highlights before I talk to Gbenga about the second El Clasico of the season.